Hey there, friends and enemies, JoPa here again, and today I need to rant about the worst thing ever added to Marvel Rivals, in my opinion, the Chrono Shield cards. Now, I already knew these would be a bad idea, and I understand there are other issues with the game, but there are certain things that need to be fixed or adjusted, while these, in my opinion, need to be removed. They are the bane of competitive play from gold and below, and this might not apply to you if you're a higher ranked right now. However, it could in the future if these become more prevalent, if you can maybe purchase them in the future, but also as you get rank reset at the end of season 2 and you drop back down into gold or below, you'll find yourself facing a lot of players who simply will either troll, throw, or just plain give up, and it's incredibly frustrating. I am playing right now with my son. He is just starting his competitive journey in this game. I'm really enjoying the game at times with him, but after hitting higher ranks last season, I waited for him this season, and so I've been trying to see how the experience is going through silver and then into gold, and now trying to make progress from there. But there are more people who are just absolutely not interested in playing the game at those ranks than I could ever have imagined. It's absolutely insane. Now, part of that is the fault of the Chrono Shield cards, but also it's also the way the competitive ranks are structured, because you can progress with a under 50% win rate, which sounds insane. You should be winning more than you lose in order to gain ranks. That's the way most games work, but in Marvel Rivals, you can still make progress even with a negative win rate. And that's kind of insane to think about, but it already leads to people kind of giving up as soon as things don't start to go their way. Heck, there's a lot of people who will start trolling or throwing even before you start engaging at all, simply because of what characters are picked in the beginning. And it's incredibly frustrating, as I mentioned. Now, to make matters worse, you have these Chrono Shield cards, which prevents you from losing points if you lose the match in competitive. There's no way these should have been added, especially 8 of them with the latest event. Yes, it's for free as long as you play the event and do all the challenges, but even still, it's just incredibly frustrating to know that there are players who can simply give up and then move on to the next so quickly. They won't even try to win the match after a certain point. And those rank points, losing them does not matter to them whatsoever, because they either have a shield, they know they can make it up with other games, and they don't care if they throw your game as long as they are making progress or having fun or doing whatever they want to do. And this has kind of exacerbated a community-wide issue, in my opinion. Even from season 0, we had players who would do all the things that I would mention. They will AFK in the spawn room. They will pick a character who they've never played before just to mess around because they don't think they're going to win anyway. Or they will actually just leave the match. And they should get harsher penalties, in my opinion, for leaving. Players should be banned for a certain length of time, whether it's 10, 15, 20 minutes, especially if they don't even try to reconnect. But there's got to be other options for that, because it just feels like it's a losing proposition right now in those lower ranks, where you just constantly have players who could care less about whether or not they're going to win the game. And it's just an endless nightmare. Plus, you have players who will just simply not swap if they are playing a certain character that they enjoy, which are, again, all of this already happened, right? But it's just gotten significantly worse now that there's less incentive to win. You should always have some risk versus reward in competitive play in order to encourage players to try their best. That should be what most players are doing at the end of the day. If you don't want to do that, then you can just play quick play, or you can play Doom match or something like that, and just enjoy the game as is. There's plenty of event activities as well to take part in. There's lots of opportunity to play other things if you don't want to actually try to win. And I would never really think about flaming people in quick play, because there's a lot of folks in there who just want to have fun with the characters that they love, regardless of anything else. But once you get to competitive play and you start to have players that are willing to lose and not try nearly at all, it just leads to a frustrating experience for the majority who have to have those players as teammates, and that will lead to ultimately a lot of players quitting when they would be otherwise grinding. Now, people will blame the 50-50 matchmaking on some of these issues as well. I don't think that's a big problem in this particular case, because then you're almost adjusting the outcomes yourself. Say you're on a loser's queue, quote unquote, that's what people say, but you're throwing the game that should have or could have been your win, but instead you're purposely throwing in order to teach your teammates a lesson to move on to the next game as quickly as possible. Whatever the case may be, it's just something that I just don't find to be a good experience right now. And otherwise, I think ranked is not in a bad shape at those lower levels. There's a lot of reasons why the meta is actually not so bad. The gameplay actually feels pretty good. We have Ultron coming. Whether he's good or not remains to be seen. We got new team-ups. All this new content to look forward to. And I've been considering really grinding ranked to get back up to Diamond, maybe even GM at a certain point, if I didn't have to deal with all these randoms who are just absolutely making the experience miserable. And again, if players try their best, if they do everything they can in order to try to succeed, and it doesn't work and they don't play well, I don't think anybody should be flamed for that. Everybody has bad games. Everybody plays poorly from time to time. Everyone has games where the characters they're picking just aren't fitting with their team against the other team. And that is fully understandable. Nobody MVPs every single game. And sometimes you're just going to have bad ones. But it's when you are AFKing a spawn, you're leaving the match, you're constantly swapping characters that make no sense, and just constantly typing in chat, really flaming everybody for what the decisions are that they're making, or whatever the case may be. It just leads to an experience that I don't think is as enjoyable as it could be. I feel like ranked needs a bit of a change. Get rid of the Chrono Shield cards as soon as possible. Maybe change up the way that ranked works so you are not progressing as much, especially in gold and plat, with a negative win rate. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Is this the worst thing that's been added in your opinion as well, or is there something else that you think is worse? Let me know in the comments down below. Like the video as always, comment, subscribe, have a good one, and I'll catch you all later.